We continue now with unit number 10 and the passive forms. So we did review this a little bit in class. Now we're going to continue with one exercise that I think is quite important. So it is in the workbook, exercise number 6, page 69. So you just take a moment to do it, because now I'm going to show you the correction right away, okay? Okay, so the correction of the exercise, as you see here, you had to choose between the active and the passive forms in the first part. Choose the best way, because grammatically the two options are correct, and you just have to choose the one that sounds more natural, okay, less heavy. First one was just an example. I live in an old house. Someone built it 200 years ago, or it was built 200 years ago. Here we do not really need this subject, which is someone built it, right? If we have the name of the architect, for example, here, yes, why not? But when it is just like this someone, it's not necessary, and it is preferable to use the passive form. It was built 200 years ago. Number 2, she wears the most beautiful clothes. They're all made in Italy. So they're made in Italy. We don't need to know that people made them in Italy, right? We use again the passive form. Number 3, I bought some shoes, but I never wore them. So I sold them on eBay. I bought, I never wore, I sold. So it's quite natural to use this form rather than so they were sold on eBay. It's I who sold them. Why not say carry on and continue with the I? I bought, I wore, I sold. Number 4, do you like this painting? It was done by me, or I did it myself. Here we're going to prefer using I did it myself, because it's a little bit heavy to say by me. When you have the subject as I, preferably use I instead of the passive form and then saying by me. That's a bit heavy. Number 5, the Mona Lisa is the most famous painting in the world. It can be seen in the Louvre in Paris. So we are going to use here the passive form. Why the passive form? We don't need to say that people can see it in the Louvre in Paris. We know that it is people who go and visit museums, right? Not animals or anything else. So it can be seen in the Louvre Museum. Passive. Number 6, we all have breakfast together every morning. Then the children are taken to school by me. See, by me again. It's a little bit heavy. So we use the active form. Then I take the children to school. Okay, continuing on the same page, we have the second part of the exercise right here. So I'm going to show it to you. Part 2, right here. Read about the inventor, Trevor Bayliss. Put the verbs in brackets into the correct tense, and then you're going to consider the form, active or passive. Okay, so this is a kind of global revision where you have the tenses and the forms, active, passive. Okay, Trevor Bayliss, inventor of the clockwork radio. So this is a picture of the guy, Trevor Bayliss. Verb, grow up in London. The action is finished. He is an old man now. He's not a child. He is not growing up in the present, right? He is an adult. So Trevor Bayliss grew up. And are we going to use the passive form here? No, no need. The subject is here. It's not the object. He, verb, educate. So he educated at a local school? No, it's not he who did the action, but he received the action. He is the object of the action. He was educated at a local school. Finished, so we use the past simple. And how do we form the past simple passive? Simply by using the auxiliary was or were and then the past participle. He was educated at a local school and then studied, okay, so engineering at a technical college in the city center, or in the city, and that's it. Studied, this is a finished action, right? And he does the action, no need to put the passive here, you need the active form. We continue. He is best known for the invention of the world's first clockwork radio in 1991. He wanted to produce a radio that could use by people, so here it's an indication that we must use the passive form. And what about the tense? Here you're not going to use a specific tense because you have could. So after could, you only can have the infinitive without to. So the infinitive to be without to. A radio that could be used by people in parts of Africa where there wasn't any electricity to get information about health and AIDS. No manufacturer wanted to produce his early attempts, but then in 1994, his radio, you see, in 1994, this is a past simple, it's finished action. Okay, we use the past simple, active or passive. His radio showed on a TV program? No, it's not the active form here. It was shown on a TV program, passive. A South African businessman invested money in the project, again finished action in the past, but here it is the active form because the subject is right at the beginning of the sentence. And the first clockwork radios called Freeplay was, I'm sorry, here it's not was manufactured but were manufactured. Okay, because it is the plural here. The first clockwork radios, I saw radio for some reason. So if it was in the singular radio, yes, you're going to say was manufactured, but because it is the plural, we say were manufactured. W-E-R-E. Okay, I cannot change this right now. I've been changing this over and over again, and for some reason every time I do it, it just gets erased. Anyways, were manufactured. Why do we use the passive form here? It's not the radios that do the action of manufacturing, meaning to produce. They don't produce themselves, no. Okay, so when you start with the object, you're going to have the passive form here. In South Africa in 1995, again, as I said, finished action. Since then, the radios have been a great success, and millions, verb sell, around the world. The radios, do they sell themselves? No. So we use the passive form. And what tense is this? This is the present perfect, the present perfect passive. Why do we use the present perfect? Because millions were sold in the past and millions can still be sold today. So linking the past and the present. Up to today, millions have been sold. Last paragraph. Over the years, Trevor Bayliss has been given many awards for his invention. Again, this is the present perfect passive. Why do we use this? The same explanation as this. Trevor was given awards in the past and he still can be given awards today. So it's something that can continue to the present. He continues to work hard. In 2003, so this is the past, finished action, he started a company which aims to help new inventors get financial backing. The company, you see, aims, so it still exists today. The company, where is it? the company is based in Richmond, London. This is the present simple. See the verb to be conjugated in the present simple. The present simple, which form? Passive form. Is based in Richmond, London, where the famous inventor lives. I hope this gives you a little bit of clarity. Please do not forget to correct this. Were manufactured, not was manufactured. And now we have reached the last unit we've dealt with in class, unit 11, present perfect continuous. Again, we're going to see the form. What is the form of the present perfect continuous, and when do we use the present perfect continuous? What is the form? All right, here you have the table. I, you, we, they, and to say have been taking. You see the continuous form, you always have a verb taking the ing and the auxiliary to be conjugated in the present perfect. Have been taken. He, she, it has been taken. Okay, negative, you just add not. Haven't been taken, hasn't been taken. And for questions, you always start with the auxiliary. Have they been taking? And the answer, yes, they have. Has he been taken something, etc.? No, he hasn't. Alright. Okay, now, when do we use the present perfect continuous? So, just like the present perfect simple that we have seen in unit number 7. Remember, I explained in unit 7 this tense. So the present perfect continuous has the same idea of linking the past and the present. Okay, and I'm reading here. Mostly this tense is similar to the present perfect. It is a tense that links past and present. So mostly there's no major difference between the two. Let's see the two sentences, the two examples that we have. I have worked here for 4 years. I've been working here for 4 years. Present perfect simple. Second one, present perfect continuous. So generally, as I said, there's no difference. The idea of linking past and present, that's similar. The only difference is this. The present perfect continuous concentrates attention on the action taking a long time. So when you say I've been working here, I'm concentrating on the fact that the action is long. It's not a short action but a long one, and it has taken time. This is the idea. This is the only tiny small difference that we have. And please note that some verbs have the idea of a long time. There are some verbs that have this idea of a long time, like to wait, to travel, to study, to research, etc. But with other verbs, we do not use the continuous form because they are short verbs, right? Okay, but other verbs can generally only take short time, like to cut, to start, to meet. Okay, I've met some interesting people in my life. Okay, I've met, using the present perfect simple. It is a life experience, so up to today, counting from the past up to the present, I've met some interesting people. Now, can I say here I've been meeting some interesting people? No, you just meet and it takes 2 seconds to meet a person, right? Okay. Just a remark in here, the present perfect continuous is not used with state verbs. So verbs that do not have action, the opposite of action verbs. So verbs like, love, know, understand, have, when it is used for possessions, etc. Okay, you have more verbs. We do not use the continuous form with these verbs right here. Okay, we're going to prefer using the present perfect simple and not the present perfect continuous. Let's see if we can answer this. So you're going to complete the sentences with the present perfect continuous form of the verbs in brackets. Example: he has been living here for 6 months. Alright, so the action of living is long. Is it correct to say he has lived here for 6 months? Absolutely yes, it is also correct. Number 2, Helen worked as a TV director since she graduated. Using the present perfect continuous, Helen has or have? Has been working. That's it. Number 3, how long, this is a question, so you start with the auxiliary, you come to these classes. How long have you been coming to these classes? Again, the action of coming can be a long one, right? Is it correct to say how long have you come to these classes? Yes, definitely. Number 4, my mother, verb to sing, inquires since she was a little girl. My mother has or have? She has. Okay, has been singing inquires since she was a little girl. Number 5, he, not quote, negative form here, well at university. I'm worried about him. He, have or has? Has, and we add not, so hasn't been coping well at university. Last one is also a question, so we're going to start with the auxiliary. What auxiliary here with have? With you, sorry, it's have. Have you been touring a lot with the band this year? Alright, so that's it for the present perfect continuous conjugation. Now let's see when there is an option, or when you have two options, present perfect simple or continuous. So you choose the correct one. Number 1, I'm tired because I've stood up all day. You see here all day, it has the idea of taking a long time, right? So we're going to say, instead of I've stood up all day, I've been standing up all day. So the action is long. You want to concentrate on this, you want to insist on this. Number 2, she has loved him all her life, or she has been loving him all her life. What are we going to do here? So, okay, you're going to tell me all her life is long, right? So we want to concentrate or insist on the fact that it is a long action. But look at the verb. What is this verb? It's the verb to love, and we said that the verb to love is a state verb and it does not take the ing form, right? She has loved him all her life. State verb. Number 3, how long has Dr. Khan been seeing patients? Or how long has Dr. Khan seen patients? It's time he had a break. Okay, so it's time he had a break. We understand that he has been working for a long time. Alright, we use the ing to express this. How long has Dr. Khan been seeing patients? Number 4, I have known Elsa since we were 11, or I have been knowing Elsa since we were 11. Okay, maybe it's a long time, right? Now we are adults, so you might be tempted to use the ing form, but again, just like love, know is a state verb, so we do not use the ing. I have known Elsa since we were 11. Number 5, ouch, I've cut my finger, or ouch, I've been cutting my finger. Can we use the ing form here? Like, do you cut your finger and keep cutting your finger for a long time? No, this is just an accident. So it happens and it takes a brief moment. Okay, so we do not use the ing, we use the present perfect simple. I've cut my finger. Number 6, I've dug the garden all morning and I still haven't finished. Or I've been digging the garden all morning and I still haven't finished. All morning, this is a long action, it's taken me a long time, using the ing. Is it a state verb? No, there's action in it, so it's not a state verb, it's an action verb. I can use the ing. Last one, I haven't seen you for ages, or I haven't, what is it again? I haven't been seeing you for ages. Clearly it is I haven't seen you for ages. So here we're going to use the present perfect simple, because here it is a short action. It does not have the idea of a long time. It's a short action, just like the action of cutting. Alright, so we have done with the grammar. I just want to insist again that you review the vocabulary of all the units from 7 to 11. Review them very quickly. I very much insist on this. I said that many of the exercises in the exam are on vocabulary, so you review this. Unit 7, word endings. 8, clothes and things to wear. 9, feelings. 10, words that go together. 11, birth, marriage, and death. That's it. Thank you and best of luck for the revision.